You know, I hear there's a subset of people out there that really get off when they hear shitty intro music and watch people talk.
Welcome back to the Words of Harry podcast, guys. Today, we're going to get sexy.
Not necessarily, no.
So we've talked about sex.
We have talked about sex.
Talked about the old people.
the old people.
Fucking.
Old
This is the Words Are Hard After Dark.
After dark.
This is the
Yeah.
fetish.
Send your kids to bed.
You don't want them to hear about what we have in store. So
After they teach you how to use YouTube to subscribe to the Words Are Hard podcast, send them to bed.
the internet is a scary place, and I say that because I've learned way too much about how the world works from the internet, and that's not probably a good thing.
Mhm.
One thing I did learn from the internet was about furries. I don't fully understand.
Furbies? You mean those little electronic toys that kids get
No,
that have
furries.
Oh, you wish.
Although, you know what? Okay, so I'm going to bring this back to Rule 34 of the internet, which is
Yeah.
there is porn of it, no exceptions.
If
Rule
it
35
exists,
There's a
porn.
porn.
Exactly.
of it.
Rule 35 is if porn does not exist, just fucking wait.
It will be
It will
created.
exist.
So-
when you ask.
So with that, you get all these, all these fetishes.
That's right.
Furries was the first one I ever heard of, and I still don't fully understand it.
I mean, I don't understand it in the sense that I put myself in that mindset or their shoes or their giant furry costumes. I understand it in the sense that I just know what it is. It's a bunch of people who enjoy fucking in anthropomorphic animal outfits.
Isn't there more to it than that, though? It's not just that they necessarily like
It's-
dressing up like it. They get
Yeah,
they get excited by the idea of anthropomorphic animals.
anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Words are hard.
Anthropomorphous.
Anthropomorphic.
And to be fair, if there's a subset of furries, like you just said, anthropomorphous.
Anthropomorphic.
Is there anyone who gets off on like fish and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure there
Aquaman.
is. There's being a nerd. There's a. I'm sure there's mermaid fetish,
I can pretty much guarantee there is.
Probably.
full out fish fetish.
Have you ever watched The Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, that bass.
So, I mean, like,
bass though.
So I mean, like the furry stuff is for the most part it's rather tame. One of the funniest things I saw on YouTube this week was of this reporter who
That's weird.
what
That like the world has gotten to the point where you're like that furry stuff is pretty tame.
Yeah.
ultimately, yeah. I mean, we live in a world where people will lick each other's buttholes, but are still salty when people double dip, right? It's like
Yeah.
there's a
Well, I think my favorite quote was when somebody was on the internet and they're like, dogs are so stupid, they'll just lick their assholes and pretend that they're cleaning themselves. And they're like, people are so dumb, they'll lick each other's assholes and call it sex.
that's fair. So I mean, you get things like foot fetishes, right?
I don't get foot fetish.
I don't understand it.
I can try to rationalize it in the sense that essentially people like, all right, let's take, there's all kinds of sexualities out there. There's all kind of preferences.
Sure.
So let's talk from the idea of what we would understand, which would be straight male, right?
Sure.
So straight men like breasts because they've been sexualized. They're not supposed to be a sex object on the body.
That's fair.
There's actually a theory, though, that the whole reason why men sexualize it is because it's an ingrained thing of...
Yeah, that has to do with
Yeah.
It's a
fertility.
Freudian- it's a Freudian
and
thing,
the ability to So there's theories about that.
We like
But
boobs because
but-
we want to fuck our mothers is the
but-
idea.
No.
Thanks.
You're welcome for that.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
you guys
that,
can't get it
Alex.
up.
thanks, Freud. If you think back to a time when they weren't sexualized, when people or no matter how long ago it was, when, women didn't have to cover them up, and they would walk around, and people would say, "Oh, that's for feeding the young, right?"
Sure.
And that's what it's there for. But because it's been sexualized and covered up, let's assume that's why people are like, "Oh yeah, I like boobs specifically. You know what I mean? So let's go to a culture where feet are covered up and feet are
Feet are covered up, Mike.
I could go out in a pair of flip flops and nobody's going to bat an eye, except for the fact that it's the middle of February in Canada.
And you have a
But it, middle of July, let's go to the beach. Nobody's feet are covered up, right? And everything's fine. Go to a culture where I guess feet are sort of covered up and feet are sort of sexualized in a way. Like you can condition anybody to say something sexualized, right?
That's fair.
Let's say you
Yeah.
raised somebody from birth and said like, don't touch other people's fingers. That's how you get off. They might grow up sexualizing fingers. You know what I mean?
So what you're trying to get at then is you're saying that fetishes are psychological.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's something
Or
that
it's
somebody thinks or
Ingrained,
has,
I should say.
well, I mean, it's just something somebody has like a certain reaction to.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know what I mean?
It's a psychological predisposition to enjoy one thing over another. It's like
Getting fucking smart.
it's more like
Those are some $5 words right there.
$5 words.
I didn't understand a word he said.
Psychological predisposition.
Yeah.
It's the same idea where
So it's like
No,
you said,
I'm
ingrained.
joking.
Oh,
you
okay.
you actually mentioned years ago. I guess the conversation was basically about how. Oh, actually, I think it was basically boobs. I think you said that your wife said that I'm allowed to look, but I can't touch. And you said that you kind of prefer that if women are kind of covered because they. In this day and age, you get all these women that are dressing all
leaves more to the imagination.
exactly. Thank you. So with the whole thing, nuns. Well, not okay. That's a terrible example.
You went from one extreme to the other.
Alex likes nuns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alex
well,
has
no,
a nun
no,
fetish.
No, no. I guess there is some people who get off to the idea of modesty. There is
Exactly, yeah.
fetishes out there for clothed women.
So, and that's the thing. The idea is you're leaving everything to the imagination, and because your imagination runs wild, it's the same reason why children, are afraid of the dark, is that they're afraid of what's not in there. Their imaginations run wild.
They're just afraid of
For a
clothed
grown ass
women.
man, you're seeing someone who's we'll say she has a nice body, but she's completely clothed, completely modest. She's you're thinking, oh, yeah. To a point, you're undressing her with your eyes.
I feel like it has a lot to do with what you're exposed to and repression. I think if something is I think if
that's where the more
if-
extreme things come from.
if we could do a really like immoral experiment and raise a child from birth and say don't touch trees, that's a sexual thing. That's what like. No, mommies and daddies touch trees when they love each other very much. You know what I mean? That kid might grow up and have some sort of like a weird like fucking tree fetish.
the same
you
reason-
know what I mean?
That kid could also grow up terrified of trees.
Except when mummies and daddies
Or
love
he
each
can-
other very much.
or you can only get off while wearing a tree costume. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and
they're not furries, they're trees.
you can literally you can
They're leafies.
you can literally list off anything and there's a fetish for it, guaranteed.
People who fuck cars.
And I
Or
actually
intimate with
saw
cars, yeah.
I actually saw one of those episodes of My Strange Addiction of somebody who was
Straight out, he's
obsessed
in
with-
love with his car.
Yeah, but they went a step further and they found somebody who was in love with roller coasters and carnival rides
Yeah.
These people are weird.
from a fetish perspective.
Which I don't know. I can't even begin to start. I can't even begin to think of how that would start.
I don't want to get into the really disgusting ones. We know that they're out there. There's people who
Nobody wants us to talk about
yeah,
those.
there's people who have some fetishes that are just like
So
unhealthy, I would say.
So let's go into some 50 Shades of Grey territory here. Because I recently watched 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Don't really remember.
I you know what? I find it weird that we're talking about this subject because I am not mature enough to like. Even my wife is like, I'm going to see that movie with my friend. I was like, oh, that's funny. I thought you were gonna ask me to take you. She's like, you couldn't watch that movie. You couldn't sit.
No, to be honest, I
I
watched
thought you were going to ask her if she had her dildo in her purse when she was coming to the
Oh,
movie.
come on.
it was rather tame, to be honest. Watched the second one in theaters rather recently.
Yeah.
I laughed. I thought it was really funny because it's.
You told me about a specific part where he had like he had two balls. Like
Spoiler alert!
what are the?
He has these two
thunder
silver
beads, right?
balls,
Yeah.
like attached to like this nylon rope, and he's like do you want to play with these? And she's like, you were not sticking those in my butt.
I would piss myself laughing in the middle of the theater.
I lost it. Everyone, a lot of people laughed, right? And then he's like,
Oh, that's
they
good.
don't go in your butt. Turn around and bend over. So I mean, all
Where
those,
your butt is.
where your butt
Yeah.
is basically.
They
right?
don't go in your butt. Now show me your butt.
I mean, they go deeper.
I
into it.
promise
I mean,
I'm not.
They
putting
go
it there.
deeper?
They
Do those
Do
silver
they,
balls
Alex?
go deeper?
Do they, Alex?
so, but no, I mean, like, there's getting rough and passionate. That's okay. I mean, in my books, there's sure there are limits, and you have to have a hard limit with your partner about that type of thing.
Lots of
Safety
things have to be
words.
hard. Yeah.
Like, for example, if you're gonna get into choking,
Yeah.
you have to have a hard limit. Like you have to have trust.
I don't
in
like
your
the way you're
partner.
saying hard. Every time you
I
say
know, sorry,
hard,
it's,
He's
uh,
doing that on
you're saying it
purpose.
like
So-
really. You're like you have to have a hard
Like
limit.
I am not kink shaming. I'm not kink shaming when I say that I think, feet fetishes that's a little bit weird for me.
feet
not-
fetishes.
Foot fetishes.
Feet fetishes.
Multiple feet.
I can only get off if there's
Yeah.
more than one foot.
He only likes meters.
I love you, Craig.
So yeah, no, I mean, so the whole BDSM thing.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand it. I mean, I can understand, where some things would be,
If
you know,
as far as I'm concerned, if you have a fetish that doesn't hurt or impede somebody else,
and it's
or-
between two consensual adults.
it could be between one consensual adult. If you have a specific fetish,
He's just saying if you have a fetish, there's something that
yeah.
interests
If you have a fetish where you get off on stuffed animals and you want to go do your thing with stuffed animals, all
Sure.
the power to you. You know what I mean? You're not hurting anybody else in doing that. If you have a fetish that hurts or impedes somebody else's life in some way,
Sure.
then keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
or,
my fetish is beating you with a baseball bat.
Yeah, exactly.
So the whole idea for 50 Shades of Grey is that he's pursuing this this one woman.
Yep.
But he wants it. He makes it very, very clear that he wants everything to be 100% consensual and that everything is 100% safe
Yep.
within her boundaries. He's trying to get her to sign a non-disclosure agreement and contract saying this is what she's okay with.
I haven't seen the movies, but I heard a lot of people saying that they severely misrepresent a lot of the culture
Yeah.
around that.
Oh yeah, no, I actually have a few friends who are in the community here in town actually, in that type of. In the
Let's
whole
not
BDSM
name
thing.
names.
I won't name names, no. 'Cause, I mean, I'm sure
1 million subscribers. We'll name
Yeah,
all the
we'll
names.
release the list at 1 million
Uh,
subscribers.
I mean, there's two people in my mind that I know of, right? And I mean, everything is 100% professional. I say professional, when they're straight, they're straight fucking. You can't really be professional with it, but everything is 100%
I don't know. You can put a suit
consensual.
on.
They don't, they make sure that hard limits are agreed upon and that.
There's that word again.
I know. I'm sorry.
Hard.
Hard limits.
So, I mean, everyone has like a big misconception about how it works.
hard.
Yeah.
The whole 50
Words
Shades of
are
Grey thing isn't.
hard.
I wouldn't even say it's dirty necessarily. It's just that it does bring to light. Hey, this is a thing that you can do in
I
a
have a
bedroom.
question. They obviously probably use the term safety words and
They
the words
do.
are hard.
They
Does he respect that? Is that the problem that everyone has?
What's
What's the problem that people have with that movie? I've never seen it, nor am I going to see it. So what's the
So-
problem with the
so
misrepresentation?
the safe words. There's yellow is to be used, and that's where the subject or the submissive is almost at her limit.
Okay.
And then red is immediately everything stops.
Okay.
The problem, if I remember correctly, and I kind of fell asleep through the last half of the first movie.
It was that good of a movie.
But if I remember,
They were
correctly,
actually pretty good. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I
fell
slept
asleep
through
halfway
half of
through.
it.
second one was good.
Okay.
I tried watching the first one twice, but if I remember correctly, it's that she wanted to know how far the fetishes would go, like how hard the pain would be. Please fact check this for me and call me out if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But so
But like I'm saying, there's a lot of controversy from that community.
oh yeah, no,
what didn't they like about it? What misrepresented, as far as you can see in the movie?
I think what we're proving right now is that Alex has no idea what was
That's right. That's
misrepresented.
right. What
Yeah.
what I'm wondering is like, did she use the safe word and he didn't respect that? Is that
I don't
the
believe
problem
that's what
that they
happened,
went?
no.
Okay.
I think it was. I mean, everyone. It's the fact that everyone thinks that whole lifestyle is literally that they just get off on pain. Just
Is
straight
exclusive
up.
to that.
It's exclusive to that.
Okay, I gotcha.
Where it's really not. I mean, it's sure there are going to be a few sick fucks who don't want it to be consensual, and that you know they have.
And those are the people that I'm talking about where it impacts somebody else.
Yes,
so
that's not okay.
That's not
no
okay.
pun intended. Go fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Hard.
Yeah,
So,
go
yeah.
fuck yourself hard.
From what I can tell, there are a few situations where the fact that in the entire movie he's making sure that she's 100% consensual in the whole thing.
Is she hard consensual?
Hard consensual. So I mean, a lot of people don't understand that that's the main point that he's trying to bring across the entire thing. And
Well, it is kind of hard to bring that point across. Though.
well, when the books were first released, right? It was labeled as mommy porn, and that it's these over the top sexualizations of sorry, not sexualization is not the word I wanted. Over the top, just gory, bloody messes, but that's not what it is in any case.
Okay.
So BDSM is okay in my books.
You heard it here first, folks. Alex is into whatever you want to say he's into.
Side note: if you don't label this episode 50 Shades Harder when you put it up,
Yeah.
then we're completely missing
50 words harder.
50 words,
words
harder.
But no, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. There was a quote that I really like from Louis C.K., which isn't necessarily the most.
He's the paragon of.
No, what he was talking about is he was talking about things to do with your body when you die, and how people donate it to science, and it's a very noble thing. But he wants to start his own thing, where when he dies, they put his corpse in a room, and people can go in that room and do whatever they want with him. They pay money, 45 minutes, go do whatever you want to that. He's like, because there's some sick people out there who are bothering alive people with their fetishes. He's like, so just go into a room and just do it to me, and I don't care.
See, the problem with that is this is Louis C.K. we're talking about. There's enough people that hate him that the first person to go in there might be someone that goes and lights his corpse on fire to get rid of him.
They
Or
might
just
mess
to
him up.
shank
Yeah.
I did this, meaning shank, stab him, right? But
I was wondering what you were doing.
like just stab
Is
him
that
with
the
my-
worst you got?
He's
A lot.
using a shake weight.
Okay. Question: What do you guys think would be the most unfortunate fetish to have go?
You can only
I'll start us off. You're a man. You get off on your own flaccid penis.
just like
That-
you're just
That's
the worst
not
one.
It would
Impossible.
it would be the worst paradigm ever. So then you're like, all right, well, I obviously I have to pre-create some media of my own flaccid penis because it can't be flaccid when I get off. So then you go to create the media, but then you see it flaccid, and you're like, oh yeah. You know what I mean?
It's just
like-
never-ending cycle of
Yeah,
being-
it's just this never-ending circle of never being able to get off on your own flaccid dick.
and here I was thinking something pretty tame, like you can only get off if you hear banjo music playing.
That would be a fantastic fetish. Oh, what would be like? Okay, what you got something?
I half had something, but that completely derailed me with the banjo.
The
Yeah.
banjo.
I read something recently where Australia, the most popular song that they get off while listening to, and I forget what it was, a theme song of something. It was a really unfortunate and hilarious.
The Full House theme song.
No, it was something very campy.
I could understand that.
Well,
Funny.
with that reminds me.
Okay.
I have the fortunate experience of having lost my virginity to the Shawshank Redemption playing in the background. So I literally lost my virginity to Morgan Freeman's voice.
Alex, you either get busy living or get busy getting busy.
Getting busy. so I
Either
Hard.
get busy or
So,
get busy hard.
the most unfortunate thing for me would be only being able to get off to Morgan Freeman's voice.
Is that what you're saying? You Your fetish?
That wouldn't be the most unfortunate thing because there's enough media out there with Morgan
Yeah, it'd be
Freeman's
easy
voice for
enough
you
to
to
do.
like. Yeah,
But like, what if she's not into it? Like, what if
Earbuds, dude.
headphones. Or you could just replay it in your head.
What if
Yeah,
it has
your
to come from her
imagination.
voice?
What if it has to come from her voice?
Oh, then you're
What if you have
screwed.
to fuck a Morgan Freeman female impressionist?
Yes.
Well then,
Oh yeah.
You're never getting
that
laid.
Feels good.
yeah.
Watch him slide his dong inside me.
Is this
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman or Sean Connery?
What if you can only get off to shitty celebrity impressions? Oh wow.
That'd be easy enough to do.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Oh my god. That was so bad. You sounded like Pauly D from Jersey Shore.
No, it was really bad. It's that I was about to do a Christopher Walken impression. That's what that was supposed to be, but as soon as I started, I went into something completely different.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
something that
walking
doesn't
here.
exist. You know why though? Because impersonations are hard.
Yeah, things are hard. What if you only got off to Alex saying the word hard way too sexually?
Well, they just have to replay this episode.
What would be the most unfortunate song to have playing in the background?
Rebecca Black
Well,
Friday.
in the moment.
Rebecca.
Oh,
Actually, no joke.
partying, yeah.
There's
Like,
there's
I
this
can't.
there's this couple that I knew,
Okay.
and a few weird things happened with them while they were fucking.
Yeah.
One is that
I'm gonna find that song, by the way.
his mother
Don't worry about that.
his mother called while they were fucking, and she started singing Amazing Grace while it was happening, kind of in the background.
Who did? The mom?
No, the woman that was being railed, and so
Why?
that was just her thing.
Was the mom's name Grace?
No. In another situation, if I'm not mistaken, she also started singing Rebecca Black's Friday, while she was being while they were intimate. Yeah. I know she's not. I know she'll never watch this, but if she does,
She'll know who she is.
I stole you a drink
Yeah, Greg,
for that one time.
give us your input. Oh, okay. Australia's favorite song to bump uglies to is the Star Wars Cantina Band song.
I
could see that.
That's incredible.
I could see that.
Cheers to you, Australia.
Yeah.
You know what? In Australia, I can see it. I can see it definitely being like a normal, like proper thing.
I just meant I could understand why they would.
In
Why would I
New
think
Zealand,
that?
it's the intro, like the intro song to Star Trek. Just for some contrast. Do 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 do.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. But what do you think?
Most
About-
unfortunate song.
Just
It's like I'm
at-
completely out of my depth here.
really? I would hate to only be able to get off if you hear the library card song from Arthur. Having fun isn't hard if you've got a library card.
How about the Pokemon
Hard.
theme song?
No, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I can
really.
do that.
If that intro is really epic.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith. His name is my name
Yeah.
too.
Whenever I go out, people
Yeah.
always shout.
We're getting into some weird song fetishes now.
At this point, I mean, and that's the thing. There are probably some weird song fetishes. type
I
things
wonder.
out there.
I wonder if there's like a subset of people who are just like really into.
Weird music.
No. Just like
They're called
oh,
hipsters.
just like let's say there's like a Led Zeppelin fetish out there where
Sure.
it's just
Oh, I
like
can
yeah,
pretty
I
much
could just
guarantee.
fuck to any song by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, anybody probably could, but
Makes sense.
is there people who are like specifically out for that? Like they hear it and they're just like, oh yeah, this reminds me of the summer of
Anybody who grew up in the
69.
80s.
That's
Lessons learned.
people are fucked. That's pretty much-
I
that's pretty
don't
much it.
understand fetishes.
People are hard.
They're hard.
No, lessons learned.
Alex likes the word hard.
Alex only gets off to hearing me say lessons learned.
Thanks for watching that episode of the Words Are Hard podcast, guys. Leave a comment down below, not your sexual fetish, but the weirdest one you've ever heard of so far. Or just give us some feedback on future topics, because we get off on that probably. Don't forget to hit that like button. Check out our social media in the comments below. If you want to subscribe to us so you never miss a video, you can click this thing right here. And if you want to see our last topic that we did, you can click right here. And as always, thanks for watching.